Welcome to episode 1 of Geeking Out with the Foos, presented by FooBarShow.com, where we talk everything geek, including movies, TVs, comic book news, and video games. I am Joe C. Fooing it up with
Josh
and the
Foo.
Remember to like and follow us on our socials, as well as rate and review on all podcasting platforms. Foos!
User.
What's happening?
You know, Foo.
Life.
Nice episode 1 intro.
You're welcome.
Okay. So what's up, man? We're doing it. We're doing it.
New format change, guys.
We're making this whole segment grew legs enough, like what happened with FooBar Sports, where it just monopolized an entire episode frequently,
pretty much.
And we're just like, well, let's break it off into its own thing, and people like it anyway, so let's just do it for about 45 minutes to an hour.
Glavin,
lady.
Yeah, we're gonna be focusing on segments a little bit, or segmentize our information a little with movies, TV, comic news, and game news, which we really haven't touched on that much.
We never really gave video games a
Joe
whole lot of
C.
love.
boycotted video games for the longest before he came around. So
I still don't play video games, dude. I wish I can
so
and
the
you right
boycott
now.
is still on.
Don't worry, I have a story later on in this pod that may intrigue you as far as the new game.
Oh,
yeah.
That's called a
You know,
tease.
and that's funny you bring that up, because I am very partial to at least campaigns. I don't really do the whole versus mode where you have to go online and play against other people.
But that's the best part.
I understand why people enjoy that. I just don't have that kind of time, dude. I don't have that kind of time. I don't. But I do enjoy these new games coming out, and if I can enjoy an entire campaign and wedge it within maybe a couple of afternoons, so be it. So that's where I am. That's where I'm at.
Okay, well, we'll discuss that a little bit more later into the pod.
Okay.
But, I mean, you guys ready to just start geeking out?
Let's do it.
Oh,
So we actually just saw It Chapter 2 in the movie theaters this last weekend. And guys, what'd you think?
I didn't fall asleep. It was good.
It was really good.
Did you, Keeks, you were saying how much you were going to be falling asleep because we were on those comfy
It also
recliners
helped.
at the movie theater.
It also helped we didn't dab too much. So
Yes. Yeah, very quick in our day.
I thought it was good, man. You know, at a certain point throughout the movie, as much as I enjoyed the movie as a whole, I'm like, this thing's pretty long.
Yeah.
This thing's pretty long.
they
Like, how are they
definitely
ending
drug the
this?
story. Drug the story out a bit. They dragged the story out a bit. Foo, because the original was just a 3-hour movie.
It was a 3-hour TV series. It was like the
It was
first
like 3 episodes or what?
Yeah, it happened on 3 different nights. So it didn't all happen in one night. Like it all happened, I think, a week after each other. Because I remember as a kid,
Like Roots.
yes, yeah, exactly. Like as a kid, I remember when that came out.
Haven't talked about Roots in a while, Foo.
Thanks, man. way to have us recognized.
You're very diverse, Foo.
Dude,
Come on, I like LeVar Burton.
you're so woke. So woke. I remember as a kid when it came out, I remember walking into the living room and my grandparents and all my parents and my aunts were watching it. And that's when the fucking clown comes out of the goddamn shower fucking drain.
Yeah,
It
I remember those
scared
iconic scenes.
The living shit out of me. Like my mom, she covered my eyes, but my brother Carl, he got the full brunt of it.
He didn't get that lucky.
He's even more traumatized of clowns than I am, and I cannot stand them. But dude, this movie just took it to a whole other level, because Joe C can attest to this. I was scared shitless throughout.
Josh jumped a few times throughout the movie.
Yes,
Oh,
sir.
there were some great.
Yes, sir.
But there were jump-worthy scenes.
Yes.
Like,
Oh,
they
yeah.
did a good job at doing that. A lot of the stuff was very much like you were on acid sometimes.
Oh, man.
With the way they like made these shapes of
I
people.
felt like
Dude,
I was
that
having
scene
my
where-
bad shroom trip again. I was like, no!
That scene where he was just in the mirror house and he was banging his head.
Yeah.
Oh, dude.
Any horror flick in a fucking mirror house
It's
is
just-
gonna
it's
gonna
gonna
creep
get
you
you.
out.
It's
Yeah,
just
gonna
gonna
creep
get you.
out. And they did it really well.
Yeah, they did. They did. Bill Skarsgård did a fantastic job as Pennywise the Clown. And the whole CGI was good. Like how they ended up doing all those weird, like the old lady. When you find out what the old lady looks
That
like.
old lady is probably the creepiest part of that movie.
Oh, that was.
Remember in the background, she was all fucking.
That was like-
creepy.
She was wigging out.
It
Yeah.
was like The Shining happening all over again. Remember the old lady in the bath? Oh man, dude, it was great movie. If you haven't seen it, get out there and see it.
I like that in some pockets of the theater that we were in. There's some people were like freaking out, like, oh my god. Some people were like cracking up.
Yeah, the ones next to us were like all over the spectrum, man. They were cracking up, laughing, and then all of a sudden, oh fuck! It
was just another foo in his left eye, foo.
Yeah,
it was just.
They was like, oh shit, foo.
Oh shit, foo.
Yeah, it was.
But those kind of movies, it's okay to have that kind of audience interaction.
Yeah, you want.
How did you feel at the end when everyone clapped?
I didn't like it. I never do.
It
annoys the shit out of me.
I made a content.
I like that it only happened for about 2 seconds.
I know.
I'm like, oh, good.
I was actually pissed about that.
Why?
Like, what the fuck? It should be longer. Annoy this guy even more.
I know. I was like, come on, dude. If we're all gonna clap, let's all clap for 10 seconds.
Standing O. Yeah, that always annoys the shit out of me because they're not really clapping at anybody. Nobody's there. Nobody who's worked. Nobody in that list of credits at the end of the fucking movie is present while you're clapping.
But
who are you clapping for?
How do you know though? But how do you know though?
I'm taking my chance.
There's the cast and crew, foo. Mm-hmm. What if one of the crew's there?
I'm
what
gonna
if
be
one
honest
of their
with
cousins is at the movie theater watching the movie their cousin just got featured in, or helped produce, or wrote and did something in the movie?
I couldn't give two shits about the gaffer. I really couldn't. Wow. Fuck that.
You know, man, that guy works really hard.
That guy's the glue of the entire operation. Go fuck yourself, Josh.
Without him.
Everyone needs to get their coffee, dude, all right? And someone's got to go get it.
Somebody's got to do it.
Look, the assistant to the script writer is just as important as the assistant to the assistant.
My middle finger is working
director.
OT right now.
Oh.
For those who can't see.
But yeah, dude, oh man. And Bill Hader. God love you.
He stole the show, I think, a little bit.
He did. He pretty much made
I'm
the
not
movie.
going to say he was the comic relief, but he definitely contributed quite a bit to it.
The guy that played
for
Grown Up...
sure, dude,
yeah,
for sure.
The guy that played Grown Up Eddie was like... Their back and forth was amazing. Like
he was still a little spaz.
Yeah. But he still said, fuck you, fuck.
Yeah.
What the fuck you looking at? It's like,
that's funny, too. When he was dying, he's like, what happened? You know... Something or other, like, yeah, banged your mom.
Yeah. He went out with the bang, man. He went out with the bang. And then when he gets stabbed in the cheek.
And he doesn't know how to react.
Yeah.
He starts backing up.
Yeah, he's like, oh, shit. He's like, Bowers is here. Just gushing out. How bad is it?
It was so bad, they only needed one bandage on it.
Yeah.
Which was surprising.
They were just stopping the blood there,
but
it
was a clean cut, man. The way it looked, at least, it was just
right through his mouth.
Also, we're discrediting the fact that it's just a movie. So
yeah, there is that too. There is that.
Whoa,
yeah,
I know, man. So he was actually played by James Rizzoni. He played Eddie Kasprak.
Okay, does the same thing happen to Eddie in the original?
You know what, man? I really cannot say because I really have a hard time rewatching that
I'm trying to remember.
So you're asking the wrong person here, buddy.
It was the original was creepy with those lights.
Read the room. Read the
room. Wow. All right. Well, I guess I got to watch the original.
I can say this too, though. James McAvoy's performance was pretty goddamn good.
I liked it.
It was especially when he would like cut into those like stuttering moments. You know, like the little boy coming back out in him.
Right.
What's
tasteful about the entire movie in that respect is that he didn't start stuttering again until he went back to Derry.
Yeah, he was perfectly fine.
He was just fine.
Yeah, and then all of a sudden
outgrew it.
Yeah, it all came
even
back.
when it happened again, he's just like, "What the fuck?
Yeah,
like it's back, really? Fuck,
damn it!" Yeah, you could see the fear in his mind. It's like shit. And then, dude, I didn't know Old Spice could act so well.
I know, right? He's a great actor.
Yeah.
He had me convinced a couple times that he was Danny Glover.
Yeah,
I kind of did.
I really forgot
feeling,
he was Old Spice guy. I was just like, damn, dude. It was Isaiah Mustafa. That's his name. And yeah, he did a great job as Mike Hamlin. The only one that stayed behind in Derry. Which, oh man, and then Jessica Chastain.
Yeah, she's easy on the eye.
She's a good looking ginger.
Oh yes, those are the good ones.
I like in the movie that they alluded to the fact like when the guy who was the book writer, like, oh, I didn't like the ending. I didn't like the ending.
You really need to
that
learn
was
how to
like
finish an
really
ending.
like that was really like a foreshadowing of like, hey, I'm changing the ending for the actual movie. I like that element of it too.
Yeah, they really did. I liked how they did add the element of the writer in the movie. Yeah, you're correct.
Because Foo, if you never read the book, they changed it for this movie. The ending.
Oh, they did.
Yeah, originally in the book, what happens is like they actually go to an astral plane. That's like all that wind and destruction and him coming out as a tarantula doesn't necessarily happen in the book. Like when they all hold hands, all of a sudden they go to some subspace in their mind. And Stephen King does a good job of like fully describing how the the metaphysics of how it all happens.
Okay.
But they didn't really have time to go into that in the movie.
Yeah,
So,
by now it's already like 2.5 hours in.
Exactly. We're like 2 minutes, 2
Dude,
hours 40
when they
in.
got to the house, we were only 2 hours in. I was keeping track.
Yeah,
and I'm like, dude, there's still like 45 minutes of screen time, dude.
Yeah, when they got to that bottom part, it was like still at least 10 more minutes left in the movie. So there was no way they were going to fit that stuff into 10 minutes. So that's when they changed it to him, being that monster and them screaming at him while he shrieks.
Okay.
Spoiler alert to anyone who watches. Though you guys are going to watch this anyway.
Yeah.
So, we may just save you some time.
If you don't like clowns.
Yeah, if you don't like clowns, trust me, I'm saving you a lot of time here. I took one for the team, people.
Oh, shut up. You enjoyed the shit out of it.
I did very much. And also another change from the movie to the book. In the book, the town itself gets destroyed.
Oh.
Not just the well house.
Interesting.
Yeah. So
because the town was founded on
top of
the meteor.
Yeah, it was built over his meteor where the meteor crashed.
Wow.
So yeah, pretty much that's another change. So he wanted to show a more complete side, like a complete ending. He wanted to have a good ending.
Okay.
Similar to
the one of the things that they reference in the movie.
Yeah, they want a good ending, an ending that's going to be complete. And I did like how they had Stephen King.
I like
there.
his cameo.
Yeah, that was a good cameo. His whole ending sucked.
That was great.
It was great. It was well done movie. I recommend everyone go see this. It is definitely something to. It's the
a
movie
Friday
of the
night.
summer.
It's a Friday night, especially as we approach Halloween.
Yeah.
It's going to be one to watch, at least for the next couple of months.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're going to start, guys, remember, we're going to start getting into that season where it's going to be okay to go to the movies. Winter time, you're just going to want to chill inside a movie theater. Maybe, have a nice cup of coffee.
Yeah. And as we approach, like I said, Halloween, a lot of horror movies are probably going to be coming out.
Yeah, there's that Black Christmas that's coming out.
Yeah.
It looks intriguing. I'm kind of willing to give it a shot because, sometimes some of these movies actually do pan out. It's not
What was that
bad.
movie with Kristen Stewart where they're like under the ocean?
Oh, underwater?
Yeah, underwater. That
was
looks pretty good.
Crazy.
Yeah. I'm just like, before it announced what the actual title was, I was like, oh my God, they're actually doing it. They're doing a BioShock movie. Oh my God.
That's what it looked like.
Yeah, it's kind of what it looked
That's what
like
it
at
looked
first.
like, yeah.
It's like, oh my God, they're building what is, the
Rapture.
city, Rapture in BioShock. And it's like, please, I want to see this movie. And then it didn't go that way. So I was a bit disappointed because it kind of looked like it just
was
in the
going
first
up-
few
yeah.
seconds. But I was actually I'm interested based on the actual trailer that took place.
I think I had mentioned this a long time ago when Aquaman came out. Do you remember that species that lived
In the trench?
Yeah, the trench. What if this is like an origin or like a trench movie of so to speak? Similar to how that movie Life with Ryan Reynolds and Jake Gyllenhaal, they said that was a link to a Venom. Like that was essentially event because because they bring back a symbiote that kills all of them in the spaceship in Life. I recommend you guys see that. Like it's actually really good.
Interesting.
And,
Is it made by Sony?
Yeah.
Well, then they can just totally just say it.
Yeah.
It's just like, hey, yeah, it's a link. Yeah, sure,
Yeah.
fine. Go for it.
Yeah, exactly. they didn't say yes or no. It's similar to, remember Prometheus?
Yeah.
It's like that.
Yeah.
Where at the end, all of a sudden, they have
It's
this
like, oh, it's the
tie-in.
alien thing.
It's
yeah.
just like, holy shit. Wait,
or
what?
or even Cloverfield.
Yes.
With that Netflix movie that came out. God damn, I forget the name of it, but it was
the Cloverfield Project?
It wasn't?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
okay. Yeah, fine.
No, yeah. That's
I'm like, that's too
right.
much on the nose, but
Yeah.
that sounds right too.
Well, remember they had
They were all had
Cloverfield.
Cloverfield in the goddamn title. That's
Yeah,
why.
Cloverfield Lane. Remember they had that?
Right.
Yeah. So, oh yeah, I mean, God, it's just going to be so good. Anyways, moving on to some other news. movie news is The Matrix. Matrix 4 has an official release date.
Whoa,
Yes.
whoa.
I know.
Matrix 4.
What do we got here, Josh?
Yeah.
Don't be
What
Joshing us.
What kind of timeline do we talking here?
So it says.
I think it's only
been
been confirmed for now.
full trailer coming out, arriving in 2021. Movie release date 2022.
Okay. We got 2 years to wait for a trailer, man.
2 years to wait for a trailer.
Jesus
Yeah.
Christ.
May come sooner though. They said it may come sooner in 2020.
Did they hint at any plot points?
Not yet. Production's actually going to begin in 2020.
Because it's Return of Keanu, right?
yes,
Yeah,
We have Keanu, Carrie-Anne Moss is returning.
Holy
A lot of the
shit.
OGs.
They
yeah.
have not confirmed if Lawrence Fishburne will be coming back. He may
I think they said Michael B. Jordan, right?
as a younger
Morpheus.
Morpheus. So
So it's going to be a prequel, or what are they doing here?
Time travel
they
foo.
may have a time travel aspect into it because this is you're inside of this computer mainframe.
Yeah, just
So-
press rewind, I guess.
Yeah, pretty much, and
Yeah.
he's controlling it. So
That'd be dope to see, like, to help him solve or keep battling. He has to go back and figure out how initially, like
Like an endgame situation.
no.
no, like Terminator situation.
Yeah. Nice try, Foo.
All right.
Speaking of Terminator, Dark Fate, that trailer actually looks pretty goddamn good.
Yeah, we talked about it in the recent regular
They
show
lost me when
podcast.
she said she'll be back.
That was the last thing in the trailer, though.
But they lost.
That's when they lost me, dude.
Oh. Come on, it's gratuitous.
Is it?
Somebody had to say it.
Why didn't Arnold say it?
You
I-
know what, man? Maybe he has to. Maybe he charges for every "I'll be back." He says. You know.
Copyrighted. It's his let's get ready to rumble.
Arnold Schwarzenegger fucking coins it.
Yeah.
Yep. Yeah. So I'm not. I mean, that's something I can overlook. The action looks dope. Gabriel Luna is that crazy ass Terminator that like can split into two. Insane. That looks dope as hell.
Yeah.
And then Edward Furlong's coming back. It's gonna be a thing.
I like what I saw. You're right. It was cheesy that she had to say that before she threw the grenade. But I don't know. Maybe it's the worst part of the whole thing. Who knows?
If that is, that means it's a good trailer then.
Yeah.
At least they saved the worst for last.
Sure. Ooh. I like your optimism.
Yeah, of course.
You're a glass half who?
Glass half Foo kind of guy.
I got him.
Well, continuing on with movie news, Sony has officially closed the door on Spider-Man.
Yep, it's official.
For now.
Foo.
For now.
For now. They have said for now.
So this
Yeah.
isn't news then. You're just joshing me.
How dare you say it? How?
You mean we
There
can
you
only wait for a sound clip from the Foo here?
Oh, you want? Okay.
No,
all
no,
right.
don't
that-
do it now.
damn it.
I'm just joshing.
There you go.
No, now,
I thought you were already doing
now we're
that. Never
picking
mind.
on him, Foo.
Sorry. Okay. Go ahead. Carry on. Back to you.
Well, good on you, Spider-Man. Now fuck off.
Good on you.
Well, I think that they've been hinting at releasing other properties from the Spider-Man universe, correct?
Yeah, they actually said that Sony has 5 or 6 Spider-Man TV shows currently in the works.
Why so
and
many?
Streaming services. Well, dude, there's a thing called the bottom line.
And bottom line is that they're making these movies.
And they need to make a profit.
And they need to make a profit.
All
'cause-
right, you know what? It sucks that Spider-Man really is the glue to that universe they're trying to build. So him without it in there, and him being in the MCU is very.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. He is the centerpiece of whatever phase 1 they're trying to gonna try to create now.
You know
Yeah.
what? Let me tell you this: if they ever do a Spider-Man 2099, I'm in.
Oh, I'd be down. That'd
my
be
God, I
interesting
never
as fuck.
thought of that.
Yep.
That's
Yeah,
his
dude.
version of Batman Beyond, that he can get away with anything.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and that suit too is fucking amazing.
Holy shit,
it's
that's a good
just as
point.
good as the Batman Beyond
Yeah.
suit.
Mhm. Yeah.
So hell yeah, I'd be totally on board if they did that fucking. Spider-Man.
And I think that's why they know they're like fuck Disney, like we can do our own thing.
yeah, they can go and they can do the Spider-Man Noir. They've already introduced him in Spider-Verse.
That would be great.
They can do a Spider-Gwen series too. That may be something else. And then they can probably expand on the Miles Morales Spider-Man. Maybe he'll have his own series of sorts.
Now, have they actually specified on what kind of
Not yet.
shows they're going to make?
Not
Is this
yet.
going to be, what, 5 or 6 or something? Extra ones?
Well, actually, there have been rumblings of a Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse animated spin-off series.
Uh-huh.
So again, you could have, you could already have like a Gwen,
Spider-Gwen?
Spider-Gwen. Yeah, I'm sorry, Miles Morales type of Spider-Man. So they haven't really fully confirmed which series they're going to be making, but they're out there, and so you can infer which ones they can make, and probably you're going to guess right.
Mm-hmm.
So they actually canceled the Sober Sable and the Black Cat series.
Good.
The movies that they were planning on doing.
Mm-hmm.
I think they just realized, okay, look,
Nobody cares.
we got Spider-Man back.
Give the fans what they want.
Yeah, we
Give
got
them
Spider-Man back.
Let's shove it down their fucking throat until they stop breathing, and then they'll die Spider-Man fans.
You know what they did? You know what Sony pretty much did? It's like, hey man, you know,
I need my power saw back, dude.
Yeah, no, like, hey, can you do my homework just for a little while,
Yeah.
and then until I can get up on my feet, and then boom, when they figure it out, okay, cool, thanks, I'll take it from here.
Yeah.
That's
thanks.
what they did.
They needed to figure out the
Thanks.
formula.
Yeah, and they figured it out. I
Or
think.
they probably realized, damn, you know, this guy Tom Holland, he's pretty good.
And
We should
he's
probably
young.
hang on to him.
And he's young.
Yeah, he could
Yeah.
be with us for a lot
He's
more
23,
movies.
right? 22, 23?
23, dude.
Yeah.
He can do Spider-Man.
And Marvel's only
for
going to
years.
allow this 90-10 split for so long.
Yeah, and then not only that, like a new Spider-Man movie probably wasn't going to come out for a while because
Well,
they already had
they're
this.
trying to build Phase 4.
Yeah, they already had this phase pretty much locked in.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that's also why Marvel's
Far from
okay.
Home, yeah, Far From Home was more of a let's close out the
OG MCU.
the OG MCU. It's a close out to Tony Stark. Like the future's up.
What I
up
find
up
a
in
little
the air.
what I find a little foolish is that they wouldn't even give the time or consideration for Spider-Man to be in a cameo. That's what everybody's really kind of upset about. I think.
Yes, that he's not going to be coming back in
That's
any
it.
capacity.
You know,
Yeah.
you just gave us reasons to believe that he's going to be a big part of the next phase, and then you just pulled him out.
You just introduced him into the entire world of the Marvel Cinematic Universe.
He took the helm for
To be fair,
the replacement of Tony Stark.
they're doing the same thing with Black Panther though. Like they just don't have the time to move along to the next phase. And also, you know, make sure we get a Black Panther 2 timely. Like, no,
you're right.
It's going to end up being Black Panther 2 is going to be like 5 years removed from the original.
Yeah, technically, yeah. That's
Yeah, so you know, and most people don't like that. They like the movie either
With
in
all
2
these
years
Marvel-
or
2
3
or
years.
3 years,
But
yeah.
with all this
now it's a
Marvel movie
now it's a
coming out,
balancing act, though.
Nobody's
That's
going to
why.
notice.
Well, look, think about
Will
it this
people
way.
notice?
Do you remember Dark Knight and Dark Knight Rises, the time gap from the production of the movie? It was like around 4 years.
Yeah.
4 years in between movie. And in the movie itself, it's actually an 8-year gap.
Yep.
Like they added an extra 4 years. So you can kinda
Star
play
Wars
with
prequels
it, you
had
know?
a 3-year gap in between them.
Yeah,
Back in
exactly.
the 99, 2002, and
And even-
2005.
Yeah, and then 2015, they had it in 2018. And then actually this is actually the fastest they've had.
I don't think they stopped
sequel.
shooting. That's why.
No, I think they pretty much kept running with it.
So-
Like J.J. Abrams pretty much picked it right up and just kept going with it.
Like, JJ, save this.
Yeah, don't worry.
Please.
Hold
Yeah.
my beer.
Hold my blue milk.
Yeah, there you go. Yes, but you know what? Sony, don't fuck it up. Just don't fuck it up, please.
Let's see what they can do.
Yeah.
Everything sounds good for now.
Show them in Venom 2.
If every one of these
You got my
projects
attention.
coming out is in an animated type of form, I don't think anybody's going to be mad about it.
No,
'Cause
their
it's easier to direct an animated thing, you
Yeah.
know.
Yeah,
Just
that's-
you can oversee it, and it's more of a tight package. That's why all the DC movies are great when they're in animated form.
It's a lot. Yeah, you're correct. It's easier to tell the story, you know, especially these crazy stories that happen in some of these animated series.
Yeah, because a lot of times the live action movies they're tied to the universe they're already in.
You know, there's a funny episode arc or not a funny, but a really cool,
Funny, haha.
like funny hole.
Oh,
Well, they pretty much do the Injustice storyline in Justice League, in the Justice League animated series, where they bring over the other universes' Justice League who become evil and ruler and tyrants, and they try to kind of take over their world, and like they kidnap them. They kidnap the Flash, who was actually the one that died, was killed by Lex Luthor in that universe, and caused Superman to go crazy. Like they show all of this. The Justice League was a very underrated animated series. Directed by Bruce Timm and I think Tim Daly. Like, that whole animation style was fantastic.
Yeah, because that was a two episode crossover, right?
Yeah. Uh-huh.
Yeah, that was sick.
And that actually is the series that gave us the ending for Batman Beyond. That showed us the origin for where Terry McGinnis really came from.
Oh.
That he's so spoiler alert, he's actually like a
Bruce Wayne clone.
Bruce Wayne clone. That Cadmus, because Bruce Wayne never had any progeny, at least in this universe, Cadmus had stolen Bruce Wayne's DNA from many of his various escapades where he left his blood everywhere. And they implanted it into a family similar that had the similar make of Bruce's family.
So the genetic code pretty much overwrote his father's DNA.
Overwrote his father's DNA. So Terry McGinnis is essentially his son. So they were going to try and do the entire origin where his parents get brutally murdered. And she hires the Phantasm to kill him. And then the Phantasm's like, I can't do this. Like, you mean you want me to do the same thing that happened to Bruce? Like, no, I'm not doing this. So then that's when the dad just ends up, their parents end up divorcing. Yeah. But his dad ends up dying anywhere later.
There was no tragedy to give him the fuel to his fire that would make him become Batman.
Yeah, it just happened later. It was more of a delayed response, which is why
I like that they actually give you the details of this nature versus nurture thing, where they not only is he Bruce Wayne's DNA, his fucking offspring, but we actually want to give him the same type of situation that happened to make him turn into Batman eventually.
Yeah, and then it just doesn't happen that way.
But he becomes Batman anyway.
Yeah, he does. It's just delayed. It's just delayed because of his nature. It's in his blood. So, recommend everyone go see the Justice League animated series. So, moving on, the Star Wars Rise of the Skywalker. Foo, I think you have or Foosy, I think you have a trailer.
I do. It's a lengthy trailer, but it gives us a lot of information. There's going to be a lot of sound happening, so I'm not going to mute us. So let's just listen to it here. So here are the two sons appearing on the screen with Luke looking upon. You got Ben Kenobi. It's pretty much giving you flashbacks of A New Hope at this point in the trailer.
Like imagery-wise,
Well, they also John Williams is going to be playing the entire catalog of all of the Star Wars movies,
even the episodes 1 to 3.
Yes, sir.
Now they're going to Empire Strikes Back. He's at Dagobah where he's training. Like they're just giving you like a best of right now. Prequels.
1,000 generations live in you now. Your fight.
This descent. The story of a generation comes to an end.
Yes, it's in.
And here's where we
becomes Vader.
Darth Ray.
Darth Ray.
Trailer had me excited as hell. Like, seeing that, I was excited to see that crazy double lightsaber she has. Like, the direction they're going with it, I'm happy, man. Are you happy, Foo, with at least how it's looking so far?
Yeah, that was part 1 though, right? Reveal trailer 1.
2.
Yeah, because we already saw the one where she's kind of looking upon just an entire desert, and then we see some ship speeding towards her, and then she's running away, but only jumps up to jump up on it. So
yeah, well, it's supposed to be coming out this Christmas, and we all think, there shouldn't be any problems, right? Wrong.
What?
It's sounding like the Rise of Skywalker is struggling to find a comfortable middle ground, as apparently it's undergoing some major reshoots.
But doesn't
Foo.
J.J. Abrams just do that?
He does.
He does a
does.
lot of
He does.
reshoots.
So, of course, reshoots are pretty common for any blockbuster nowadays, but according to entertainment journalist Art Tavanna, Disney will be reshooting entire scenes, and apparently, things aren't looking good right now for the picture.
What do you mean?
So they're being told that Disney is reshooting scenes for Star Wars. Don't quote her, but things aren't looking good. Too many variables and audiences to please. George Lucas, as a creative consultant, seems like a very likely occurrence, though there's no telling how much say George Lucas would have as full consultant. That's pretty much it for the details. There's not much else going on. I think maybe they're a little concerned about possible negative reaction to the Darth Ray portion of the trailer. People get upset. I mean, people get upset for the dumbest reasons.
I know that this is a podcast for nerds and everything, but can nerds just fucking chill the fuck out sometimes?
I agree, man.
I mean,
fucking agree.
and you said this is going to be the last topic, but I want to talk a little bit more about the Jack Ryan article that I read last
I'm
week.
talking about movies.
Oh, okay.
Hey, I'm sorry, man.
Okay, I'm sorry, I misunderstood. But nevertheless, nerds need to chill the fuck out sometimes.
I'm chill, dude. I'm chill.
This whole thing about when not Lord of the Rings, fucking what's that last thing on HBO?
Game of Thrones.
Game of Thrones. The last thing was Game of Thrones because nobody liked the ending. There was a petition. There was a bunch of fucking nerds who wanted to sign a fucking petition to redo the last season. Really, nerds. Can you all just chill the fuck out? I'm looking at you, Josh.
What are we supposed to do about bad? What are we supposed to do about bad writing, Foo? What can we do?
Just take it, like everybody else ever.
No. They should be held accountable for your
all right,
actions.
fine. In 20 years, you fucking make your own HBO fucking.
Give me the
series.
money and I'll do
Done.
it. Give me the money and
I'll
I'll
be
do
like
it.
George R.R. Martin. I'm gonna wait 30 years to finish one scene.
Or make a movie that is pretty much telling the audience this will replace the last season.
Okay,
Whatever,
well, which
they
is it,
should-
Foo? What do you
yeah,
want? Which
yeah.
one do you want?
I'm
Here?
giving options, Foos.
Okay,
that's all I'm doing over
just-
here.
just
You guys need to
whatever.
chill the fuck out.
Yeah,
Just chill the fuck out. Your voice doesn't matter as much as you think it does.
Whatever, dude. They promised us the promised one and they never revealed who it was. So fuck them.
I don't know why I played that.
He was enthused by my fuck them comment. That's why.
He was.
Might have been.
Was. Let's move on to the TV portion of this segment here.
Oh,
That's a good segue.
And Jack Ryan, man. The new trailer of Jack Ryan just came out. You guys mentioned the release date, November 1st. I did not appreciate that guy's take that John Krasinski can only
He's
be
one
Jim.
of a few critics out there that have, article writing power to really try to shit on something and give you influence.
it's called an abuse of power, Foo.
I don't like it. This isn't journalism, guys. This isn't what
Is this
me as a citizen
haterism,
signed
Foo?
up for.
Is this
some
manufactured news?
Whoa.
Well, yeah.
No way.
Fucking Jonah told him, "Hey, shit on this."
Yeah.
And he's like, "But I wanted to cover Spider-Man." No, shit on Jack Ryan now. Fine.
What a dick, dude.
Was this the same guy that shit on The Simpsons, Food?
Probably. I wouldn't be surprised if it was. And
it's not.
It's okay.
not.
All right. Well,
As much as you would like it
that's
to be.
surprising.
Well, let's listen to the trailer for a bit, and then we'll talk about it a little more.
Cool.
What's the most major threat on the world stage? Venezuela is the single greatest resource of oil on the planet. So, why is this country in the midst of one of the greatest humanitarian crises in history?
¡Presidente Reyes! ¡Nos ha traicionado a todos!
Your concern is that the Russians are secretly selling weapons to Venezuela?
It would fit a pattern.
It's time we stop. Hey, what's that sound?
This ends up in the news. It's just going to cause panic.
And in nuclear Venezuela, you will not hear about in the news because we'll already be dead.
Business a pleasure, Jack.
I'm here for work. What happened? Reyes! Look at me. Was his name ever mentioned?
You guys stay. You have no protection. Nobody's coming to save us.
We do this together. I can live with that.
I like it.
Yeah.
And you know, one of the things that the other guy was.
Wait, hold on. Where was that going?
It was just a Prime Video commercial.
Okay.
I think the marvelous Mrs. Maisel.
Oh, okay. Anyway, sorry.
Yeah, I mean, that's all it is. Anyway,
Playing the Culture Club over here.
I know.
Reading Book of the Month Club.
Do you really want to hurt me?
So, Foo, are you going to be watching the first episode, Jack Ryan, upon release, Foo?
I will. I'm very excited to see it. I am not about to shit on it. You know, there's a lot of things you need to be open-minded about. And I think I covered them in the last Foo Bar Show podcast episode where I said, when we were introduced to Jack, he's trying to remain fit. You know, they remind us that he's a military guy.
He's cutting through red tape, Foo. That's what he's doing.
That's what he's doing. There it is. He's an analyst.
Yeah.
He's an analyst that really just looks at, numbers and history with, behind the money and that kind of thing throughout the world that might be tied to some real shit.
Dang, Foo. So when I become analyst for the Galactic Federation,
You're going to be an analyst.
dang. No.
Yeah, read your...
What does Troy say?
Where'd your
You
job
get paid
offer?
more?
Yeah.
But, there's a lot of things that you need to forgive about the entire premise that is Jack Ryan. But that's really what makes it awesome.
Yes.
It's kind of the ridiculousness. And it's like, oh my God, this guy who looks at spreadsheets all day is kicking ass.
That's what I mean, dude. Have you not seen the original Tom Clancy
Have you
movies?
not kicked the spreadsheet's ass before, dude?
Yeah. I've
You
put
don't know
together
what you're
some pretty hefty pivot
You
tables.
don't know what you're
Foo.
missing out on, folks.
When you accomplish something big as like a 5-sheet spreadsheet, oh, dude, you're on top of the world.
You create a 50,
You're
can
on
do-
top of the fucking world.
Oh, you can do anything, huh? Oh,
or
well.
creating a 55-page invoice in Microsoft Excel.
Ciao.
Oh man,
Damn.
now you're talking.
Oh, that's
now
the-
you're
that's
speaking my
the-
language.
That's the sweet spot.
Stupid.
Oh man,
Yeah.
God, I enjoyed the first season. Second season's gonna be just.
It's going to be great watch.
Yeah,
I bet you.
He needs to be Mr. Fantastic. I've been saying it, and I'm gonna keep saying it. Just hire him and Emily Blunt as Mr. Fantastic. and
That
Sue
should
Storm.
be a question you ask people we run into at Comic-Con.
Do you think John Krasinski and Emily Blunt can be Sue Storm and Mr. Fantastic?
I would love that idea. Because they already have chemistry. They've demonstrated it in that movie that they made.
Quiet Place.
Quiet Place.
I haven't seen it yet, though.
Great.
Yeah,
It's
Okay.
great. It's really good. You know, if you
Yeah,
haven't
it's very
seen it,
highly
you're
rated.
fucking
I need
up.
it. I am.
It's good.
I am.
Fine,
All right.
Foo, fine. I'll watch Titans and A Quiet Place.
Okay, good.
You convinced me.
You're making me watch that baking show.
Oh yeah, yeah, he is.
Of course.
And that's a great segue because the Foo's got us on some.
You've got me on like a Clockwork Orange fucking thing where I'm like tied to a fucking table and my eyes are peeled back.
we're watching a bunch of Brits bake
Yeah,
fucking
just
pies
baked
and shit.
pies. Oh, this one's
freaking a
this one's a little
meringue.
undercooked in the middle. Oh my God, what's gonna happen?
The middle's very doughy.
Too many cherries on one side.
Foo, the Great British Baking Show, I think is what we're alluding to.
That is.
It's a great show. I'm on season 2, Foo.
Yeah, you are.
Jesus.
I have to keep watching the finale because the last couple times I've tried to watch it, I got through the first 2 bakes. And I'm seeing their showstopper, and I keep falling asleep. I got real close last night. I figured out what the showstopper is, but I just need to make it to the end of the episode. But it's so good, Foo. Instead of just watching where I picked up from, I want to rewatch the whole episode. So I've been trying to rewatch this episode all week, dude.
The other night, I was trying to go home early.
Ain't right.
No, he ain't. No, he ain't. I was trying to go home early to sleep because I had to, coach a soccer game at 8:00 in the morning. But no, the Foo said no. I fell asleep through that episode, so now we gotta watch the entire next one.
Yeah.
It's like, you bastard. What are you doing
Hey,
to
but
me?
hey, so what are your thoughts, Foo C, Josh C?
I think it's very British.
Very
I think
British.
that the humor that they tried to create during the middle of the segments of like where the competitions that they have,
While they're baking and prepping.
there's a whole lot of cheese, dude. There's a whole lot of cheese
Heavy.
happening. Heavy
Gouda.
cheese.
Gouda.
Yeah. Potent cheese. The actual baking itself is pretty cool. I like watching that kind of
Oh,
stuff.
my favorite part was when they're getting judged on their bakes.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you get to see Paul and Mary fucking, slam them. Or like when they're like, I don't like how this tastes, and they go, really? And then they're looking at them like, what the fuck did I just say?
I like that one like country dad that's just like, no, they're wrong. I've been doing this for years. It's like,
The British guy who's actually Irish.
no, he's Scottish, dude.
Oh yeah, oops.
Yeah. Learn your accents, buddy.
Well, jeez.
Donkey.
Well, which ones? The freaking Eastern European accents or Asian accents?
Western European.
Western European. I got to learn those too.
All of them.
Oh fuck,
A
dude.
lot of accents. Foo.
So Foo,
What else should we know about this show?
we're gonna start season 3 soon, Foo. That's what we're gonna.
Jesus.
And the show's gotten a little bit better as it's gone on, Foo. So we're gonna see some creative shit then, Foo.
Yeah, man, we saw some guy have a complete meltdown on the last episode.
Well, you know what? Talk about a series, man. There was some drama. Some guy was freezing his ice cream, and this old lady fucking took it out of the freezer, and he got fucking pissed, and he just threw it away.
Yeah.
And the judges fucking removed him from the show for that, Foo.
Can't do that.
Disqualified.
Even when they like nicknamed him like the handsome Gandalf or something.
Oh, God.
Yeah, those two weird guests. But you know what? Justice was served, as I was trying to tell Josh. The next episode, guess what happened to the old lady?
What?
She died.
No way.
Wait, what?
No, I'm just kidding.
Oh.
They
I was like, what?
They took her off the show. Is that a better story if she died?
I mean, it's closure at least.
It's a heartfelt show.
There's some closure.
There
going
was
down.
closure because she was in the finale because they invited everyone to come back. So
Oh, so she's not dead.
she's not dead, but they
All
removed her
right.
from the show.
Fine.
So they got justice for her sabotaging fucking Ginger Gandalf, dude.
Jacuse.
Well, is that gonna do it, guys?
That's gonna do it for the Great British Bacon Show, Foo. If that's what you mean.
What else you got?
So Titans also just came out too this last weekend, and I mean everything's all aces.
So you saw it?
No, I haven't yet.
Oh, okay.
I'm having issues. Honestly, I'm having issues getting on DC Universe.
They don't want your business, dude.
Apparently not. Fucking
Dude,
dickheads.
Jo-
Come on,
So
man.
how have you tried? Because
Josh is banned from the DC.
I have my.
What did you do?
I don't know. I have my account. I tried paying by credit card. I've tried paying by debit card. I've tried paying by PayPal.
How about a
Bitcoin?
check, dude?
Bitcoin. They,
What about stock exchange?
show up at their HQ and just show up with some cash, maybe.
I asked them
Pretend
if
you're a
they take
pizza
Western.
guy?
I asked if they take Western Union, and they said no.
Wow.
So they really just
They don't even
want
want to
me.
do Western
what's up?
Union?
What's up?
I have no idea.
So we
It's
can't watch Titans now.
Not right now, but you know what, guys? I'll give you a little review anyway. This is
Oh,
actually
there's reviews out already.
there are.
Oh, sweet.
Well, Foo, episode 1's out.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
It's
Cool.
it came out this last Friday.
Uh-huh.
So yesterday as a recording. And this is from We Got This Covered. So, not meaning to give too much away, Trigon that's the name of the premiere episode, is a spooky thrill ride that's essentially the final chapter in Rachel's coming of age story that launches her into becoming Raven. So, it's what diehard fans of the character have been waiting for.
Oh, good. Yeah, me because I've been thinking like, what? How much longer are we gonna
We're gonna
get
get
emo Raven, and we're gonna get the goth Raven that we all know and love?
Yeah, so what short-sighted folk failed to realize about the first season as a whole, that the inaugural year was about origins, personal revelations, and the coming together of a team. I think people expected for our heroes to be eating pizza in Titan's Tower from the get-go, and that just wasn't going to happen. I mean, we all pretty much knew that. So, had this season ended up airing as the first season finale, I would have still approved of what went on. But the stuff that was added to retrofitted as the second season premiere put a huge smile on my face. Believe me when I tell you that DC fans will lose their shit in a good way during the final 15 minutes or so.
Nice.
Like, actually, it was the final stretch which alleviated the worry I mentioned earlier. At first, I thought I was going to be essentially checking out new old material, as it were, yet the content handedly laid the groundwork for what's to come. And the fact that it introduces us to Slade Wilson, Asai Morales, and Bruce Wayne, Ian Glenn, put this over the top. As you probably figured out, I must avoid major spoilers in this review. With that, I'll say that there's enough of those two gentlemen to whet our appetites, although you'll most assuredly be champing at the bit to see more Morales kicking ass in what easily the best live-action Deathstroke costume to date.
Of Deathstroke?
Yes.
Ooh.
So when it comes to Bruce Wayne, I'm still getting used to the idea of Glenn playing him, despite his impressive resume as a seasoned actor. It's difficult to picture the 58-year-old as being a Batman in his prime. Heck, that's how old the grizzled Caped Crusader was in Frank Miller's Dark Knight Strikes Again. Were you to piece together the timeline of this universe, I'd say he's better at it for decades. He's been at it for decades, yet Jason Todd's joining his mission came much later than one would normally expect. That's the only way I can make sense of this. Regardless, Glenn does a good job as a less tormented Bruce. In my view, Titans is now fully becoming the show that both devoted viewers and doubters hoped it could be. So you better get on board as this bad boy amps up. The premiere alone will leave you on the verge of a full-on nerdgasm. So I can only imagine that it'll be like when we have two Robins, Starfire, Beast Boy, Raven, Wonder Girl, Hawk, Dove, and Aqualad fighting together against the world's deadliest mercenary. And don't forget, we still have Superboy, Crypto, and Ravager on the way.
That's right.
So this will just get better and better. And Doom Patrol better look out. There may be a new DC Universe King before long.
And I like that. I don't know if they meant to do this, but indirectly, it's probably the best perspective to this DC universe that we can get from a sidekick perspective.
Hands down, sir.
Yeah. Because sidekicks have feelings too, Josh.
They're people too goddamn.
No, they're not.
Wow.
They're
Well,
just...
then get out of this room, Foo, my sidekick.
No.
Ouch.
Out of here.
Missed it by that much. All right, well, I think that's it for TV. So I kind of wanted to get into a little bit of comic book news with you guys. I know we really don't get into it much.
Yeah.
And I think it's about time we give it its due. So recently, I wanted to list a few of the top comics you guys need to be reading this upcoming week. So recently, the new Doom Patrol, Weight of the Worlds #3, just came out. And Doom Patrol comics have a tendency to drop readers into deep waters without a live vest. So while so much of a writer and Young Animal imprint curator, Gerard Way initially dialed the weirdness of the relaunched Doom Patrol down to a level of most newcomers could jibe. However, a bit of a hiatus, the continuation of Way's groundwork has gone off the rails in the best way possible in Doom Patrol Weight of the Worlds. The third issue in this series has brought in co-author Steve Orlando and artist Doc Shaner to tell a story that starts to bring all the madcap weirdness from Silver Age Doom Patrol to now. So similar to what you kind of pretty much got in the series. It's going to be just as weird in the comics right now.
Oh,
wow. Next up is Doomsday Clock. Number 11. It's pretty much almost at its end. It's only a 12-issue series. Pretty much a collaboration or a mashup of the Watchmen with the DC Universe. Like somehow Dr. Manhattan transferred over or moved over to the DC comic universe, and he's fucking everything up. And some are suspecting it's Batman or Superman that's secretly Dr. Manhattan, changing forms. Like, they're still trying to find him. So the acclaimed writer and artist of Jeff Johns and Gary Frank, the duo who brought us the amazing comics like Batman Earth 1, have returned after a bit of a sabbatical with their earth-shattering sequel to Alan Moore and David Gibbons' legendary comic book Watchmen, in the penultimate issue of Doomsday Clock. The inception of DC's rebirth is explored further as the mythology of the larger DC universe and the alternate historical world of Watchmen become even more intertwined. With gorgeous art and cerebral plotting, Doomsday Clock 11 proves to be worth the wait. The issue sets the stage for a monumental exchange that could change the rules of superhero comics as we know them.
Nice.
And I have the first, I think, 8 issues. So I need to do some catching up here. Probably go to Frank's and get like the missing, once the 12 comes out, see if I can get the missing issues and just complete my series. Because it's a great read. Especially if you liked the Watchmen comics or that series before this, you'll love this. Doomsday Clock.
I did enjoy those comics. Those are very entertaining. And you know what? I read them after watching that movie that came out. And I'm just like, oh, there's a different ending, which was, I like both of them equally.
Yeah, I mean, you can take. I took the Watchmen for a movie as it was. Like, I really didn't lean too heavy on the source material. Rather, when the source material did come out, I was like, dope. But I was fine with it. I liked it. Yeah, I rewatch it from time to time, and the Snyder cut on that one's actually good. Like,
Yeah,
the
I haven't
long-ass
seen the
one,
Snyder cut.
His long cuts are great, man. When you see the full thing when it's not cut,
That was the movie we should have got in theaters.
yes. Same thing with Batman vs Superman.
Yeah,
We
yeah.
should just dude, tell us it's 3 hours. Fine, I'll sit through them. I sat through 3 hours of it. I could sit through 3 hours of Batman vs Superman.
It's funny how it's come full circle, and now good movies are encroaching 3 hours.
Yeah, I mean, just do it. Why not? The next comic series for Justice League fans out there, they're continuing their Year of the Villain series. So pretty much
I saw something about this.
the villains have taken over pretty much all year of the Justice League comics. Like, they formed the Legion of Doom with Lex Luthor. Joker is involved. Killer Grodd. I think also, let me see here, we have Azrael, Cheetah, Poison Ivy, and Darkseid is involved as
all
well.
the big baddies.
All
too.
the big baddies. So Scott Snyder and James Tynion IV. Justice League is simply insane. Just when you think they can't get any wilder, the series manages to do the unthinkable by adding more characters and otherworldly consequences, issue after issue, with lush illustrations. Damn, S's are tough. By the incredible Jorge Jimenez. Number 33 sees the return of the Justice Society, as well as the long-lost team member who is long overdue to return to the fold. The issue is by no means a good jumping-on point, but for anyone who has been following along, it's solid gold. So they finally get to meet the old-school Justice Society. Jake Eric's Flash, Our Man, the original Hawkman, the original Green Lantern. I believe his name was like Alan Scott. His is weird. His storyline is like he finds a lamp that bestows upon him the power ring, but it's like linked directly to Earth.
Yeah.
So his weakness is yellow and wood. So a number 2 pencil would totally get this guy.
Yeah, no
It's gonna
kidding.
kill him. It's gonna kill him, dude.
This guy couldn't take an exam.
Oh man, so great. Yeah, so everyone jump on. I would jump on from the game. They have like the Omni
His arch
volumes.
nemesis is the Scantron.
Oh! Don't take standardized tests. No. Next comic book series would be the Legion of Superheroes. So, for those of you guys that don't know who the Legion of Superheroes are, they're the futuristic Justice League from like the year 3000, somewhere along those lines. That's where you have Lightning Lad, Brainiac 5, which is supposed to be like a descendant of the original Brainiac, but he works for good.
Okay.
It's great. Like, they have the ability to time travel too with like some ring that they come back and forth. I think right now they're interacting with Supergirl on the Supergirl TV series, the CW one. So yeah, I mean, if you guys are interested in knowing who the hell they are, pick up one of their comics. They're interesting read. Next one up is the Alpha Flight True North #1. This looks very weird. Honestly, it's here you go, Foo. You're gonna love this one. Canada's greatest superhero team is back with a trio of stories.
All right.
Getting readers up to speed as to what Vindicator, North Star, Guardian, and the rest of the gang have been up to recently. We explore the darkness of the Great White North in a creepy story starring Snowbird and Talisman.
Rob Schneider is the stapler.
The best of the three in this issue features Puck and Marina taking a trip down memory lane with a horrific result with a solid group of writers and artists along the way. So this is just something, if you really want to see something weird, just go for it. Or if you like Canada. You know, Canada.
Oh, Canada.
Any Canadians out there, you may want to listen to this, eh? And lastly, this is going to lead into my last comic book subject. X-Men House of X. So the X-Men have finally been reintroduced into Marvel. Like, they were pretty much killed off almost a year ago from the entire Marvel comic series. Like, there was no X-Men run for a little while. Or
How come?
It was like new X-Men, because it was during that whole weird phase with Fox when they weren't officially a part of them. It was like them pulling out their dick, say, all right, guys, your move. But I digress. Well, they ended up coming back. So the new series, this is the synopsis. So the mother mold must be destroyed. The cost doesn't matter, and all that matters is getting the job done. 8 brave mutants have gone off the world with no hope of ever returning. House of X number 4 picks up moments after Powers of X number 3 resolves a massive cliffhanger and then immediately tosses our heroes into a gauntlet from which not all of them will survive. In what has been proven to be an X-Men story for the ages, Jonathan Hickman and Pepe Larraz continue to raise the stakes even further and leave readers wondering, where could this possibly go next? After finishing the final page of House of X number 4, it really doesn't get much better than this. The reason why I bring this, I pretty much left this one for last, is in House of X number 4, the X-Men get killed again.
Wow.
Yes, so...
All of them?
All of them.
So all mutants?
All 8 that go to Master Mold.
Okay.
That to pretty much take it down. So a nightmare, a waking one, and the beginning of the end. Unless I'm mistaken, these are the plans for a Master Mold. A Master Mold that makes other Master Molds in orbit around the sun. As far as we can tell, construction has been completed. It's just been in a dormant phase, waiting for the right catalyst. We think this is where Nimrod becomes operational. So this is where the mother mold is at, pretty much. Like where the Sentinels are all started. Like in Powers of X, that's where they started mixing mutant DNA. Like there was that's when I believe her name was Mystic, not Mystique, Magic. She mixed in with like Rasputin, her brother had the hardened skin, and then also had, I believe, who else's powers? Wolverine's powers. It was a crazy combination where like the humans were able to splice mutant DNA and start fucking
creating their own mutants.
Yeah. So then after that, that's where they come into the House of X, where Moira McTaggart becomes a mutant at one point, and she comes back from the future. And so they have to... So the previous issues revealed the dark future of the X-Men and Earth, which begins, like always, with the war launched between humans and mutants.
Of course.
It's just another variation of same war, as the now time-looping mutant Moira McTaggart has witnessed, always proceeding the same. First, the humans create Sentinels, then the Sentinels evolve and take over the planet, and ruin soon follows. So to stop it, Cyclops leaves the X-Men on what they know is their most dangerous mission yet. Destroy the mother mold built in orbit around the sun before it can come online. And things go bad pretty fast. So pretty much the X-Men are almost killed immediately. So as mentioned before, Cyclops is informed that the mission is nearly impossible but necessary. For their part, the X-Men team of Cyclops, Wolverine, Jean Grey, Nightcrawler, Mystique, Archangel, Husk, and Penance come up with the best plan they can, but when the human intelligence aboard the Forge space station surprises them with an act of explosive sacrifice, they are caught off guard immediately. And it costs the lives of Archangel and Husk in a heartbeat. So setting the stage for what's coming as the X-Men respond by sticking to the plan, manually detaching of the 4 connections, keeping the mother mold from falling into the sun. But it isn't the last time they underestimate the commitment of humans to defend their own race. So, the death of Erasmus proves to be the tipping point in this dark chapter of X-Men history. So it's all the motivation that his surviving love, Dr. Leah Gregor, needs to make this as bloody as a defense as possible. And while Wolverine and Nightcrawler make short work of their assigned docking collars, each intensely lethal and non-lethal means respectively, the good doctor chooses her targets carefully. So as Cyclops takes out the 3rd connection with a well-placed optic blast, Mystique notices that something doesn't feel right about her own assignment. She barely has a moment to lock eyes with Dr. Gregor before being blasted out of the airlock. The death of one of the oldest X-Men enemies may not be as tragic as the heroes who first fell, but it was not the last soldier lost.
Whoa.
It just gets worse, man.
That's a huge arc.
Yeah, it keeps going. So the loss of Mystique is a hard blow, but Gregor leaving the entire area surrounding the open target to the vacuum of space means that none of the other X-Men could safely reach it. Even if one of them could brave the lack of oxygen, Dr. Gregor's decision to bring the Motherhold online early gives them just seconds to decide. With Nightcrawler suffering from internal bleeding injuries and seeing no other options, both he and Wolverine inform Cyclops that they're both willing to do what needs to be done to complete this mission and save the future. With some final words, Kurt promises that he will find Wolverine in the next life, whatever that may be. He teleports the two out onto the unprotected space station next to the connection collar and exposed to the full heat and radiation of the nearby sun. Nightcrawler is turned to ash instantly, leaving Wolverine with only a heartbeat longer to do what he does best. Cut. And yes, it seems like just yesterday that Wolverine was returned from the dead.
No kidding.
But as the sun burns off his flesh and his healing factor does what it can to resist the obliteration witnessed with Nightcrawler, Wolverine guarantees that his teammates' deaths were not in vain, unleashing his claws on the space station's final connection to the massive Sentinel Motherhold. He inflicts enough damage to sever it completely with only seconds to spare.
So it's a final fuck you before he died.
So there's only so many times Marvel can kill Wolverine before the sacrifices begun to run together. And seriously, man, give the guy a break.
Well, he's a favorite of the X-Men.
He is. But there's something to be said for giving Logan the kind of death people write myths about, slashing into the Sentinel that would have eradicated these people. As the pair slowly drift into the sun, all things considered, Huckman and artist Pepe Larraz have delivered the most epic death of Wolverine's yet seen. And I'm looking at the comic strip now, it's pretty goddamn epic. You just see his body melt away with the fucking Sentinel. It's dope. So, unfortunately, the death roll rises even higher. So, there's still Cyclops out there, guys. While we're on the topic of X-Men heroes Marvel's can't stop killing, Cyclops watches as Wolverine and Nightcrawler make their sacrifices, referring to Logan as the bravest man I know, telling Jean to inform Charles Xavier via her telepathic link that the job has been finished. Cyclops notes that it has cost them their friends and family, but it was likely still worth it if it saved the future of all of Earth's people. As the man in charge of the mission that claimed Dr. Gregor's loves, Cyclops must pay for his own debt. So he pretty much killed the Doctor's love. He blasted that motherfucker away.
Yeah.
So saying a final goodbye to Jean after being shot in the back, Cyclops takes a short-range shot that leaves little doubt as to his fate as well. So with only Jean Grey left drifting off in a space pod, Tennant's earlier fought and died so that Jean could board it and escape. The death of X-Men is almost entirely complete.
This is like The Departed.
Yeah.
Where everybody dies.
Hold on. Here we go. Here's the finale here, guys.
Oh my God, there's more?
Can Scorsese direct this movie?
I think so. He must have helped write it.
No
yes,
kidding.
as the narration begins to take over in the final pages of House of X #4, the Sentinel guards of the station finally descend upon Jean Grey's escape pod, tearing it open and blasting her with their energy weapons. The mission is finally finished. A success in that it achieved the destruction of Mother Mold and avoided the future Moira McTaggart warned them was coming. But in terms of Charles Xavier's team and the beloved heroes of the X-Men universe, one of the bloodiest failures in comic book history. Who knows how long it's going to stick? They may change it. They're
They're going to have to. They can't just kill the X-Men and expect there to be a line of movies coming out.
Well, there's supposed to be a massive Marvel reboot of the X-Men storyline. So this is probably what's going to lead into that. So it may not last long.
And they'll try to legitimize it with a new line of comic books, is what you're saying?
Yes.
That's how they're going to do it.
That's pretty much how most Marvel comic companies do it.
That's true.
DC did it with Rebirth, New 52. Like, they're always change shit up. So we probably see something a little different.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I wanted to bring up the 80th anniversary of Marvel. They released Marvel Comics 1000 book. And that was the one where they featured Deadpool stealing Batman's boat.
Oh, yeah, you did mention that.
Yeah, I sent a picture. Pretty much what it is Marvel Comics 1000 is each page tells a story. So it's one-page stories.
Okay.
And that was Batman's cameo in the MCU.
Got you.
People have been very receptive. It's good stuff. They also featured a strip of Darth Vader trying to be destroyed by a bunch of rebel fleet, and they pretty much all suicide into like his ship, and then he still emerges out of it, saying like that was pretty much like that wasn't even worth the time or anything like that. So people are saying like this is confirming that Marvel, the same universe as Star Wars.
Any Disney property is within the same universe.
Yeah.
Is what they're
So
saying.
they said this may confirm that they're in the same universe.
So you mean to tell me that Patton Oswalt was right?
Yeah.
I hate to say it, but he was. I
Dude.
hate to say it. I really hate to say it.
Hey, Foo.
It was funny though, that little bit he did. But you know what? Fuck him.
Does that mean that they're and the next page is like the sweet life of
Of Zack and Cody.
Zack and Cody?
Maybe.
And then a Chitauri plane just crashes into their hotel.
Right? No kidding, dude. No
And then
kidding.
Darkwing Duck shows up with Launchpad.
Dang.
Wow.
With Howard the Duck.
Now you got
With Howard the Duck.
They're all ducks.
Stupid.
They're the Duck family. Maybe it's the same universe. Who knows?
DuckTales too.
All right, well, let's just finish this off with video games, man. A lot have come out recently. 2K20 just came out this last weekend. I know you play occasionally, Foo.
Nah, sport games are whack.
Yeah.
What the fuck?
2K20.
I like them.
It's fun for me because
That explains a lot.
What the fuck?
I like 2K because it's different. They actually incorporate a story into your my
2K
career.
is very evolved.
Yes.
More compared to the line to MLB and NFL.
Yeah, honestly, NFL Madden is shit. I don't even bother with it anymore.
Is it really? I haven't
Yeah.
played in a while.
It's terrible.
It's terrible.
Ah, it
It's
sucks.
not good.
What has replaced it since?
What do you mean?
Football wise.
Nothing. It's just there's
It's just
only
the
Madden.
default.
It's just shit,
Yeah.
dude. It's just
Yeah,
terrible
they,
now.
They can't
Bring
bring
back
back.
Blitz.
They can't bring Blitz. They can't bring back 2K anymore because NFL owns like properties to Madden.
That
like,
sucks.
Yeah, so it's
No competition.
No.
then. So they were better when there was competition.
Yeah, like
when
with
somebody tried
NBA
to one up them,
they-
they would just do it better.
well, they don't have NBA Live anymore. If you I don't know if you guys noticed that.
yeah, I know.
NBA Live's gone. So
And
now
that
it's
went
only
to shit on itself.
Now it's only 2K, and 2K's because 2K blew it out of the water. Like its game mechanics were better. There weren't as many glitches as with NBA Live, so that's ultimately why 2K wins out. So I mean, I recommend it for people that are into NBA basketball. The My Career mode is cool, or even if you like just to run as the Lakers or run as a GM, that's interesting too. Like because you actually learn the ins and outs of the contracts and the mechanics and stuff of the NBA front office. So I recommend it. Also, Foo, I know there's a game that you're excited about.
Oh yes, Gears of War 5.
Yeah.
Finally. I gotta say, leading up to this release of Gears 5, it's been a shitty marketing campaign so far. They released a string of videos on Instagram, like 10-second, from 5 to 10 seconds of like the monster growing, and it's like that's all they release. No details. It's just a loop of the monster like stretching its like tentacles and evolving. That's it.
Yeah, if you actually looked at their Instagram page, like or their profile, like you see the entire image get made up, and I think that's the whole thing they're going on.
That's lame.
Yeah, it was. You know what? They tried.
I'd expect more.
They tried, Foo.
I'd
Trial
expect
and error.
more. Stupid. Must have hired a local fucking company to run their ads or something. I don't know. They sucked. They fucking sucked. The game's
you won't get a lemon.
the game's pretty cool.
Toyota Ford.
The Terminator from Terminator 2 is a playable character.
Oh.
Just the robot though. Just the robot skin.
Yeah, the
The T.
T1800.
Yeah, that he's an available player. You can play as 2 characters from Halo Reach. There's a little bit of cross series there as well. Looks like it's a really fun game. They're evolving the story a little bit, and they're kind of cleaning up the game a bit. However, it did cause Xbox Live to crash for several hours on Friday, and it was able to be restored about 2 a.m. Eastern time. So looks like seeing that movie was a good use of our time.
Yes, sir. Wasn't there also a little glitch where the happy face emoji was popping up?
Yeah.
While people were playing.
While people are playing, and and people want now to keep that as a playable character.
The happy face emoji?
It's just hilarious.
Yeah.
Was he pretty
dude.
badass?
It's just a happy face on top of the character's head.
All right.
Yeah.
It was
Have a
hilarious.
nice day.
Yeah. pretty much.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's just a bunch of stupid bugs. But you know what? The bugs have been around since the first Gears, so why stop now, Foo? Why dedicate servers like a good fucking company?
I know, huh? Who would think of that idea?
Yeah, so original.
Don't get stupid, dude.
I know.
For
man.
real. Trying to save money here, I
Be
guess.
smart about this guy.
Yeah, so I'm pretty excited to play that. It actually comes out September 10th.
I told you.
You can get it available with this. Have you heard about this? This Xbox Live Ultimate subscription. It combines the Xbox Live Gold or Xbox Gold with the Xbox Game Pass and also the PC Pass.
Oh man!
It's not available for a yearly membership. It's $14.99 per month. And if you buy the game, through Legendary Edition through there or pre-order, you can start playing right away.
Wellity. You bastards! You know how.
Someone's taking $150 from me this Saturday.
That's right. That's right.
Yeah, so I'm pretty excited about that, and maybe I'll give you a review on the game. Since probably gonna buy it.
Dope.
Just to be honest.
Yeah, let us know, man.
Probably finish it in a week.
Cool. I definitely won't check it out. That's for sure.
Of course.
If history has taught us anything.
History repeats itself again.
Well, let's finish off with one game that was mentioned like years ago. when
Bring
we
it
first
home,
started.
Josh. Bring it home.
Death Stranding. I know that David.
R.I.P. David.
R.I.P. David. He had mentioned this. It was a video game by
I
Hideo
got a David
Kojima.
reference on the first episode of Geeking Out with the Foos.
I know.
Who knew?
The first game by Hideo Kojima since Metal Gear Solid, I believe it was 4 that came out. I don't know. One of the last ones. This game is
I got
actually...
a handle on this, Josh.
Yeah, you're welcome. This game's actually going to be adding a very easy mode, and it's specifically for folks who have heard all the fuss about the game, its story, and perhaps the big stars attached to it, but rarely play video games. See.
Yeah, that's me.
That's you, all right.
All right.
So director Hideo Kojima tweeted news of this yesterday with the gentle poke at someone who isn't very skilled on the sticks. We added very easy mode for movie fans in light of in light of the fact big stars like Norman Reedus, Mads Mikkelsen, and Lea Seydoux have been cast in the story's 3 main roles. Kojima's very good friend Guillermo del Toro is also attached to this picture.
Hell yeah.
So
Fuck yeah.
dude, you're pretty much getting a video game movie.
She's in my pants.
Guillermo del Toro does it for the Foo.
Boom. Done.
What else, Josh?
So the game launches November 8th. So guys, if you're just interested in watching a movie, buying a movie, and playing it every once in a while, boom, here you go. There you go.
She's in my pants.
That's what's going to be happening November 8th for this guy.
That's right.
Well, guys, I think that was a successful first Geeking
Is that
Out
going to
with the
do it,
Foos.
man? I thought it went pretty well. It's a little over an hour. You know, why not?
Yeah.
Why the fuck not?
Why not, man? There's so much going on.
Cool.
Not enough time to cover it all.
That's why we broke it off. There's just so much to
To
cover.
give it its due, Foo.
And it's, I like the way this went. So thanks for listening to Geeking Out with the Foos. Remember to like and follow at FooBar Show on our socials and rate and review on all podcasting platforms. I am Joe C. Fooing it up with
Josh.
and
With the Foo.
don't be a dick.